What's up, YouTube? Mark here, waist deep wade fishing, Southwest Florida. Hope all is going well. Man, the season is changing. The redfish are starting to come into the flats in bigger numbers, bigger trout. The snook are coming off the beaches and coming onto the grass. It is just getting to that time of year when you want to be out there wade fishing those flats, because that's where the fish are going to be. Today I want to talk about a couple of things. I'm going to go through them quick and then we're going to get to our subject. First, I want to say thank you for everyone for liking, subscribing, and sharing. We're almost at that 1,000 mark. And I want to let everyone know that once we hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, okay, I am going to give away a free wade fishing full day session with me for redfish, sea trout, and snook. I'm also going to be looking at how many likes I'm getting on Instagram and Facebook. I'm going to combine the totals, the subscriptions. Once we hit 1,000, it's going to be random. Then I'm going to look at the Facebook and see how many likes from them subscribers. Then I'm going to look at the Instagram and see how many likes I have on Instagram from those subscribers. And the person with the most gets the free session with me. Now, if it comes down to a tie, guess what? Both of you get a free trip on me. All you have to do is show up. We head out to the flats, full day of fishing. Not 1 hour, not 2 hours, not 3 hours, not 4 hours. We go until you guys tell me you can't go no more. I do this 8 days a week. I can go 14 hours in a day. So when you're ready to call it quits, that's when we come in. All right, next subject. I do have to give a huge shout out to Gulf Coast Salty Dogs. Man, they have a great Facebook group. Why don't you follow me on their channel? Again, Gulf Coast Salty Dogs. It's a great community. They've been nothing but generous to me, helping propel the channel, spreading the word, spreading good information, giving tips and tricks all over the country. And also, they are a group of kind anglers. I know there's a couple of groups out there where people are just like, you know, they're saying this and saying that, and Facebook warriors. This is actually a good group. So if you can, go give them a check out on the Facebook, the Facebook groups, Gulf Coast Salty Dogs. Hats off to you guys. Thank you very much for everything. Okay, now into the meat and potatoes, what we came here for. Today, we are going to talk about how do cadences affect the snook, redfish, and sea trout bite while using lures. Now, of course, you see what I've got tied on there. I've got that famous Black Mamba by the DOA, and always, you know, if there's a jig on there, it's a Texas Rattler. Plain and simple. That's all I use. It's the only jig that has a dinner belt. Why would I use anything else? So let's go further. Let's talk about it. Cadences. Now, there's different cadences for different lures. Of course, there's cadences for subsurface, there's cadences for topwater, there's cadences for spoons, there's cadences for jigs. But I'm going to go through some basics. We're going to stick with jigs and spoons today. You all know what spoons I use: Aquadream, gold spoon, white spoon, blue crab spoon. You've seen the videos, so I'm not going to show one to you. You know what they are. But we're going to talk about the cadence and what it really does. Now, I've learned over time that, of course, in the summertime, I'm going to work a cadence where I'm reeling, I'm popping, I'm reeling, I'm popping, I'm reeling, I'm popping. Sometimes I'm reel, pop, pop, pop. Reel, pop, pop, pop. Reel, pop, pop, pop. Okay? It's summer, it's active. There's a lot more activity going on. You know, fish are cold-blooded, so, you know, they're hot, they're moving, they're charged up, especially when they're in a feeding frenzy. You don't want a slow-moving bait or a slow-moving jig. Okay? So I recommend, if you're throwing a spoon or a jig, when you first get out on the flats, cast your lure out, reel that spoon over the grass, give it a couple of pops, pop, pop, and then reel it. reel it, reel it, pop, pop, reel it, reel it, reel it, pop, pop. See how that works for a while. That's one cadence that has been effective. The next one, and I use this once in a while, usually when I see a big school of fish, if I see a big school of jacks, or a bunch of snook popping, or a big school of reds coming through, I'll throw that lure out. Now we're talking about spoons right now. I'll throw that spoon out and I will just reel and work, reel and work, reel and work. And I've got that spoon just flipping and flopping and flipping, going crazy, looking like the fish is out of control. It's disoriented, doesn't know which way to go. That's another cadence that might work for you. Another cadence, when it gets hot or when it's cooling off, and I use this a lot with the Texas Rattler, would be I would cast out the jig, I would reel, 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 give it a good 2 whacks, 1, 2, like this, and then let it pop. Let it sit down. Reel it, pop, pop. Reel it, pop, pop. Reel it, pop, pop. Let it sit. Now, especially when it's really, really cold, I think I just banged the tip of the rod here up on the roof. When it's really, really cold, you want to slow it down even more, especially in shallow water. When the temps are low and the water is clear, you want to use a good fluorocarbon. You also want to use something that's realistic, because they're going to get a chance to look at it. So by slowing it down, what I mean is, instead of reeling, pop, pop, reeling, pop, pop, reeling, pop, pop, what I want you to do is cast out, let it hit the floor, give it 1 or 2 pops, pop, pop, then count it down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Reel, pop, pop, count it down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Continue to do so. Now sometimes you can use that same technique with a spoon. Matter of fact, the last video I made when I was out on the flat is how I got that redfish to hit that white spoon. I knew there was a bunch of white bait, okay, that I saw on this bend on the grass flat. So what I did was, I threw the spoon, I casted the spoon out, I reeled it into the grass. Now what I was letting it do, because it was weedless, I was letting that spoon go into the grass, and I was just reeling and going pop, pop, and letting it flutter back into the grass, and reeling it out slow, pop, pop, letting it flutter back down into the grass, reeling it out slow, and that cadence made that redfish charge out and hit that spoon. Now, I'm not going to do a whole video on every cadence out there. I'll give you another quick one with top water, and that's a whole nother video. But what I've noticed, and consider this a bonus clip, we'll do another whole video on it at a different time. But when throwing a top water in the summer, okay, in the winter time you want that top water slow. You want that top water going click, click, big sweeps, click, 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 click. In the summer, when throwing that top water, okay, I am working it when that top water is going click, 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 just like that. So it looks like it's avoiding being eaten. So I'm just reeling it and I'm just moving it like this, just like this, and that plug is going click, 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 and that is producing the strikes right now. There's different, there's more cadences out there, but those 3 basic cadences are going to work right now while you're out there on the flat, especially in the change of season. If you're down here in Southwest Florida, we still got another month and a half of cooler weather, of warmer weather, and then it's going to cool down, but the transition is starting to happen. More and more redfish are coming out of the mangroves and feeding more on the flats, and as the next weeks go by, you'll see the footage. Bigger, faster, stronger redfish will be on the end of this line. All right, guys, I want to thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing, being a part of the Waist Deep family. I love you all. I hope you continue to grow with me. And please, if there's any question, leave some comments. I love to hear what everyone's got to say. If you've got any questions that need to be answered, I'll be more than happy to answer them. You can also leave some ideas for me that may help the channel. You know, I'm open for everything. You know, the channel is growing, the business is growing, and that, speaking of business, if you do want to charter a day with me, you can go down in my description. All the links are there. My Instagram, my Facebook page, my Facebook business page. You can click on the link. You can hit book today. You can get my phone number. You can email me. Everything is right there where you need it. Just go into the description and everything is there. All right, guys. I'll see you guys out on the water. Love you all. Go out there, get yourself a redfish, a line sider, and a yellowmouth.